and people with disabilities are still struggling to work and find a job due to their physical obstacles.
That's true. Now, based on data released from the Central Statistics Agency in 2022, there were 17 million people with disabilities in productive age in Indonesia, and only 7.6 million of them got a job.
So this condition has prompted a woman in Indonesia to actually help reduce the unemployment rate for friends with disabilities. And she also has a big dream to promote inclusivity in Indonesia through the community that she is building.
Yes, and to learn more about the community, joining us today is Koneksi Indonesia Inklusif or KONEKIN founder Marthella Sirait. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for coming.
Yes, we're good. This is what we do, but thank you for coming in. It's a Saturday.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's a Saturday morning, so it means a lot to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, Tella, let's jump into my first question. Now, as we said before, according to the data that we mentioned earlier, from 17 million people with disabilities in productive age in Indonesia, only 7.6 million people are working and have a job right now. What is the current situation at the beginning of 2023? We're somewhat in March right now.
Yeah. But I think it's too early to evaluate 2023 because like it's already like 3 months.
Yes.
And if we talk about the job, we also can know that job is formal job and informal job, and most of the persons with disabilities working in an informal job. So if we see the data from the compulsory company manpower report, it stated that only like 1.73% from the total company in Indonesia that hire people with disabilities. It's just like a small number.
Okay.
And if we see the trend from the 2020 to 2021, there was a decreasing number of workers with disabilities in Indonesia.
Okay, there's still a lot of and big numbers to fill in. So going to my next question, I think we're all curious somehow. What are the main problems that make it very difficult for our friends with disabilities to get jobs?
Well, one funny thing is if we see like the job posting, they already mentioned about like physically and spiritually healthy.
Okay.
So seriously for persons with disabilities, right? And they also require the minimum age, which we know that people with disabilities sometimes they are late to go to school, so they cannot meet the criteria. And also, if we saw that digital literacy from persons with disabilities, mostly job posting right now is on the website, but not all the website is accessible for persons with disabilities. So they cannot access it, the job posting, and apply for the job. And also, there is a cutting down selection between types of disabilities. For example, like company prefer physical disabilities rather than mental disabilities. So that three things, I think, the bottleneck of our inclusive employment.
I see. Now, we're also, we know that pandemic impacted so much on the working industry right now. Now, we also want to know about the impact that it has on disability communities in order for them to get jobs. Are there any shifts?
Yeah, because like I mentioned before, we live in digital era, right? So everything in the digital, but if we see that the statistic of digital literacy between the persons with disabilities is quite low right now, because maybe they can afford the device, or maybe they cannot know about like how to sell themselves as persons who looking for job. For example, like we use LinkedIn in our daily life, but maybe like a small numbers persons with disabilities know about the LinkedIn itself. And also like we live and we work with the hybrid situation, for example like Zoom meetings, Microsoft Teams, but not all of this application is accessible for persons with disabilities. For example, like blind people and also for the deaf people.
Yes, I assume it's very hard, it's such a struggle for friends with disabilities to access them. But let's put that aside. I want to ask things about you. What was your background, and what made you so intrigued about this issue, and what made you want to dedicate your life into it?
Well, it's just It's like a public secret anyway. So in 2013 and until 2014, I was assigned by the program, if you ever heard Indonesia Mengajar.
Yes.
So I was assigned in the Tanimbar Island Regency, which disadvantageous region until now. So there I met 3 students with disabilities. They are my eye-opener that we need more people to put their brain and heart in these issues. And so 2015, I go to the UK, taking my master degree with the LPDP scholarship. And my thesis is about the disability empowerment after the enactment of the disability law in 2016. And 2017, I work along with Ministry of National Development Planning to draft the government regulation number 70 as the part of the disability law.
Wow, it's admirable what you did, and it's wow. I'm mind blown.
Yes.
Now, I also want to know about the main goals of this community, because you've been doing it so far for how many years?
It's our 5th year, right?
Your 5th year. Now, what is the main goal of this community, and what have you done so far?
So I built KONEKIN in November 2018, and the fact that we already have like many disabled people organization and communities. But I think at that time we still need like platform that can work with casual way to attract people without disabilities knowing and getting closer to these issues. So our vision is like our hashtag towards Indonesia Inclusive. And our mission is 3. First one is spreading information about disabilities issue consistently in our social media, because everyone have their social media, open it every day, every time. So I think that they can learn something about disability through their social media. And the second one is we want to increase the participations of persons with disabilities in public spaces through our event. And also we create the collaboration with diverse sectors in the spirit of inclusivity.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Between 2018 to 2023, so you must have done a lot. And what is the next step for you right now? What any near agendas that what you're trying to do?
So this year we focus on to have like an online boot camp for students with disabilities in the universities to make them ready for work, because like one of the bottleneck for the inclusive employment is the company, they have like a high target or high criteria for their workers, and our friends with disabilities cannot tap in. So we create the online bootcamp to prepare them. And the second one, we continue our project. It's called Pictures Book for persons with disabilities, especially for children in this year. And also we provide the disability equality training for the company so they can open wider opportunities to persons with disabilities to work.
Okay. Now I'm going to go back to KONEKIN. I think I jumped through questions earlier. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that KONEKIN has managed to connect more than, correct me if I'm wrong, 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Yes, to get involved in disability issues. And what are the activities and also programs, and how many friends with disabilities actually have been helped through KONEKIN?
So we focus on 2 things. First is public awareness. So we have like a monthly discussion called Koneksi Inclusive. So it's just like casual Konko. And we also like have an annual celebrations of International Day of Persons with Disabilities, collaborated with many sectors. And we also help organizations to make their event more inclusive by giving them accessibility check and also promoting disability talents to perform in their events. For the disability empowerment, we provide the disability equity training and also DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion consultancy for the companies.
I see. So how many friends with disabilities have you helped so far?
So far, it's almost like 300.
Wow, okay, that's big number. Now, we also want to know, to run this community, you also mentioned that you have worked with the government. So have you teamed up with stakeholders as well as influencers?
Yeah. because KONEKIN believe that if we work together, we will be stronger, our voice will be louder, so we can make a bigger impact. Yeah. So we have collaborated with few ministries. One of I mentioned before is Ministry of National Development Planning, Ministry of Manpower, Ministry of Social Affairs, and many more. And also with small and big companies, organization, non-profit organization, and also public figures like Andin, Yura Yunita, Dian Sastrowardoyo, Anji, Wina Natalia, and many more.
See. Okay, so in order for us to have this inclusivity as as our dream to become reality, what is the first step that we need to do as a society? What is the first idea that we need to take in order for taking them into our daily life?
Well, first thing first is like open the boxes in your head.
Okay.
For example, like we already have our own values, maybe like we have our own normality terms in our life. So we see people as same as we are, but we are live in the community with the diverse people. So just like open the box in your head and being open to the other people that different from you. And then interact with people with disabilities and giving them opportunities to participate in your life and in your company.
Yes, that's what we should do to help out and to actually support this movement. But what do you think about the job opportunities? We're going back to that. With people with disabilities this year, what do you think the progress so far is about this year? And which industry should they go for and try?
Quite hard question. So pandemic has transformed our way to work, right? Yeah, we live in the digital era right now. So if the persons with disabilities have enough digital literacy, critical thinking, problem solving skills, they can easily get into the job market. What industries, maybe like I think the consumer goods, hospitality, creative industry, and also the startup, because like the government nowadays is focused on how to get the ecosystem for the startups is building.
I see, okay. Now Tella, I also want to know what are your hopes for our disabled friends, and to end this discussion, maybe you can share with us your story about them, how you connect with them, and what is the significant part that you really help in order for them to, be very productive in their life?
Well, it's about the soft skill, because like if we want to enter the job market, either you have or without disabilities, the first thing is you show your soft skill, because like we have to compete with others, right? Yeah, so me and KONEKIN are willing to increase their skills in the soft skills. For example, like leadership, digital literacy, and anything else. And I hope that many companies looking the persons with disabilities as their talents, because they can show the capabilities to work as well in the company. So the main problem is like the access to job. So give them access, and then you feel, you experience their performance.
I see, okay. So my last question would be about the story, maybe that you can share with us, when you help them, what are their message to you, and how are they thanking you?
Well, one of our disabled friends ever thanked us because we collaborate with one of the biggest transportation provider in Indonesia and help them to be a part of that company. So she thanked me because this job not actually only help her, but also help her family, because she has a kid, and her kid is living with the special conditions as well. So she needs more money, because not all of the therapy will be covered by the government through our insurance. And right now she is still working in that company.
Oh, okay, that's nice for her. Thank you.
Nice to hear as well. So for more updates, everyone watching at home, if you want to support this movement, help Koneksi Indonesia, should follow the Instagram at Koneksi Indonesia.
Koneksi Indonesia.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the inspiration, Tella.
Thank you,
Thank you
Tella.
for coming here. Thank you for the stories. We hope to see more of inclusivity, especially in Indonesia here. Thank you so much. Now we are.